Hey everyone, it's Ride1940 here. Today we're playing Sea Power Naval Combat in the Missile Age, and this is the Sea Lift Busan mission. It's I think the last, currently as it stands, the last mission in the series that was created by Minf. And our tasking is very simple. We need to get that ship over there and this one over here to Busan safely. We don't have to worry about enemy aircraft, but we should expect or worry about enemy submarines and enemy attack craft. So I've just gone through and started. Everything is, we got the radars going, towed decoys are out, we've got a mighty battle frigate here, and it's got its towed decoy out and its towed array out, and so we're just going to quietly listen for submarine threats. And we have the P3 here, and right now I've got the P3 going towards two contacts that look really suspect to me, and I say that because most of these other guys, even if they don't, many of them didn't respond to my request for to identify themselves, but you can tell they're going 7 knots, they're very large, they're going 13 knots, you know. I don't really worry about those kind of things. Most likely they're large merchants. However, these two guys seem to be zooming along together at 31 knots. Okay, let's pause the game here. Hostile missile coming from here. Unfortunately, I cannot fire back at that because there is a semi-large vessel, and most likely these were fired from missile boats, so we're not clear to fire because, you know, a harpoon's probably going to nick this guy, so we won't take that chance. We're just going to have to defend ourselves here. Alright, and alright, so the Duncan is going to do her thing and do some air defense, destroy those missiles. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by those unknown missile boats out there. These guys appear to be missile boats as well because they are going 31 knots each, and they are traveling together in the same formation, and they're trying to intercept us. Oh! These guys are classified as hostiles. Okay. And I don't think these are torpedo boats because they're so far away. They're like 40 nautical miles. It wouldn't make sense from a mission design standpoint if you look at it that way to put torpedo boats out here. So they're most likely missile boats, but we're going to go verify that. I was not suspecting these guys to be hostile, but they are. So, okay, we'll shoot down that missile. And we are going to... Once this engagement's over, we're going to quickly fire harpoons at these vessels. Alright, please get a hit, please get a hit. Let's see, we'll start watching for an explosion out there. Oh, that was a miss. Oh boy. This is not good. Not good. One more. Okay, good. That was getting pretty hairy. Alright, we need to fire a harpoon at this guy, and we need to fire a harpoon at this guy. Okay, I'm not concerned that this guy is going to get hit by a harpoon, so need to watch this cool missile shot. Zoom out there. Actually, we're going to fire another one, aren't we? Yep. Yeah, I don't think that was weird. Why did he fire a decoy? Oh, I clicked there on accident. Yep. Okay, so these guys fired obviously, and they're turning tail right now. This guy will go ID them, but I think we know what they are. Looks like there's 3 there. There's probably going to be one more that we haven't seen, or maybe one of them is holding on to. Because we've seen the missile boats that have the 2 missiles each. So if that was the case, we would expect 4 missiles here. Not 3. Both of them are turning away like they've expended their munitions here. Oh, this guy is not a merchant. It's actually the hostile ship. Alright, let's see what we're gonna hit here. What is this? Oh, this is like a North Korean trawler. Okay. It's not actually a threat like a warship or anything like that. Well, off you go. Oh boy. Yep. Nice. Okay, cool. Oh man, there are a ton of missiles flying in right now. Not good. Oh, this is terrible. Oh man. Oh boy. That was close. Wow. Now these guys are really... Oh, God goodness. Now if we... oh, there's just so many missiles there. What? Let's see how this is gonna go. Oh. Oh, SAN-5. Okay, this guy needs to get out of here. Gain altitude quickly. Oh boy, big loss. I was not paying attention to that. This guy is hostile. Ooh, that poor merchant was like a shield for us. Yikes. Oh, jeez. That guy is caught in the crossfire. Oh, another set of vampire here. Alright, while we wait for those to fire at us. Man, I cannot believe this. Jeez. Man, that guy just took a beating. Alright, let's see how these guys do. Okay, good missile hit there. This guy's probably dead in the water. Yeah, those two were hit. Yeah, this OSA... Yeah, we really can't fire a harpoon out. There's just too much unknowns out there. Ooh, missed. Wow. Oh no. Is that everybody? Yeah, it looks like all the shooting has stopped. Okay, so that is... looks like another intelligence trawler, I'm guessing. So these missiles came up around here so initially, so there might be some missile boats around here. Honestly, it doesn't really matter because they've probably fired all their missiles by now. Oh, no. Wow, I didn't know they had SAMs on them. That's wild. That's crazy. Interesting. I wonder if these are like modified units or something that could fire missiles and whatnot. That's pretty neat. Cool. Never seen that before. Really neat. Okay. Back to the task at hand. Let's get everybody reacquainted in their formations. Oh man, that poor merchant looking like they're in bad shape over there. Goodness. Yeah, yep, they're in bad shape. You know what? How about we... Can we rescue some of those guys? Let's find out. Let's try it, why not, huh? Go flank speed out there. And then we'll go ahead and navigate, change the speed down to 1/3. While we're doing that, we'll get the flight deck ready. ASW, yeah, why not? So I think that if you run over those life rafts that you see here, you just like kind of pick them up, but there's not really, that mechanic in the game isn't really fleshed out. So I think I saw a post in the Discord or comment about it from one of the devs, and they said, you know, well, for them they would need to do some more work, and it would require that they check the number of seats in a vehicle and that kind of stuff. So it is what it is right now. But yeah, let's go see if we can just go pick some of those guys up. This is kind of like more of the why I want to see stuff like that modeled in the game, because if it was dynamically happening, then it would impact what you're trying to do, right? You know, you do have an obligation to, you know, help mariners in distress at sea, but also at the same time we've got our mission here, and our tasking is to take these guys to Busan. So I think we could safely do both of them, so we can get these guys to go flank and go pick them up. And then these guys have slowed down to 1/3, so by the time the Hepburn picks up people, these guys won't have gone so far. They could just hop back into flank and then get into formation really quickly. And it would be really neat if the helicopters can actually help with this and pick them up that way, but they cannot. They cannot do that yet, which is too bad. Wow, this is just crazy. Well, that's pretty neat. You can see Hepburn over there. Alright. Well, there she goes. Okay, so we will... I think the spot... I don't think those guys ever fade away, so that's good. Yeah, they don't. If they did, then we'd obviously want to put a marker there to know where they're at. And I'm also wanting to slow down just because I wanted to take a look, sonar-wise, going kind of quiet, see if the towed array was going to pick up any sort of submarine activity. And it doesn't appear they are, so that's alright. Have these guys go race off to rescue those guys. No, they can't pick anyone up, unfortunately. I have to say, I did have a really cool mission a long time ago. I think when the game first came out, it's one of the scenarios where you just take the amphib across the Strait of Hormuz, and I had lost a Harrier pilot. But what was cool is the guy actually ejected, and so then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get sidetracked here and launch a full-on combat search and rescue mission for this guy. And I assembled a bunch of helicopters. Whoa. Something blew up out there. Oh, it must have been the armed merchant. Okay. Yeah, so I sent up a bunch of Cobras and a bunch of CH-46s, and we attacked an island, basically. The pilot was in the water right off the coast of a tiny island, and so simulated getting troops over there to go get him. Found him, and he was actually, you could see this 3D thing was a pilot in one of those life raft things, those yellow life rafts. So yeah, it would be super cool if the helicopters can just pick him up at that point. But yeah, we just circled around and then came back. That was fun. I think it was really cool. It's cool to have a plan and then have it go kind of awry with the stuff that happens in combat in real life, you know. And you can't simply just leave people behind, right? It just doesn't work that way. You have an accountability. You owe it to them, a responsibility to go and get them. And, you know, when I was in the Navy, and I'm pretty sure it's still like this to this day, you know, you're never afraid of being lost at sea, because you know the military will move mountains to get to you, no matter like what it takes. They will not stop until they get you back. So it never occurred to me that, you know, I'd have to worry about that. And I think anybody would, if you knew the risk was high that you'd lose your life trying to get somebody back, I don't think anybody would hesitate. It's just like it's just a thing in our military. Like you're doing it to go get them. You're not going to leave anybody behind. It's like the worst feeling in the world if you have to leave somebody behind for some reason. All right, we can see them over there. A little impromptu rescue mission. That's really neat. Helicopters right over the site. Kind of a dot there on the screen. I don't know if you can see that. This ship is just having a hell of a time staying into formation. Probably. Why is he going so fast? What in the world? Oh, I have direct control. I must have hit a control thing on accident. Please return to formation. Or are you doing? You are in formation. Okay. All right. Make sure everybody else is good. Yep. All right. So I think they're just going to have to do a big loop around. Yeah, so the military sea lift ships, they actually have these rings on the tops of them. And depending on what they are, they're different colors. I don't quite remember them anymore, but this must be one for vehicle roll-on, roll-off, and then this one is the oilers. But yeah, they do have a certain color code to them, and they're pretty standard. All right, where are... Okay, they're over there. All right, Duncan hasn't found anything, so we'll speed up to 2/3. In fact, we'll get the second helicopter up. Because while that one's providing some support, we'll drop some sonobuoys along our line to kind of fish out any submarines in the way, if they're out there. Where are they? All right. It's pretty good because it's okay. I thought the sun was going down. The sun's actually coming up, so I was like, oh man, we got to get these guys before it turns dark. But that's not a worry. It's only going to get brighter. So right now, as I'm filming this, there's not the update that I know is coming. It hasn't been released yet. It's not out. It's the one that's going to provide those dash ASW remote controlled helicopter things, or drones. Curious to see how they play out in the ASW side of things in the game, because I've never had experience with anything like that when I was in the Navy, and I think it's pretty cool that they've got that system coming to the game. I think probably by the time that this is released to the public, that update would have been released. So don't mind me, I'll be enjoying it when that does come out. I don't like to play the beta just because for filming's sake I want things to be consistent with your experiences, and sometimes beta's updates can break parts of the game and you know, keep it from being a fun experience. So I only play the public release version of the game. Alright, this guy should have launched. Yep. Oh, he's about to. Any day now. There we go. Good job. Okay. So let's do this here. that's almost 40 miles, so I'm thinking we'll do something like that. Yeah. And it's not perfect, but they're probably going to be spaced out, I don't know, 8 to 10 miles apart. And that should give us, it's not going to give us overlapping coverage because the range, I think in the best conditions, it's like 4 nautical miles and some change. Alright, we're just gonna go, maybe I should just, yeah, I'll take direct control. Yeah, that spacing is going to not be overlapping or anything. It's just enough to probably catch a waycoming torpedo 5365 at range, because those are noisy and the buoys tend to pick them up beyond 5 nautical miles. And if it's along our track, the hope is that the submarine is going to fire at us at max range, and if it was placed somewhere near the track line that we're on, we should probably slow this guy down. Okay, here we go. We're going to pick people up. Let's see what happens. I've never done this, so I don't know what to expect. I might use this as a thumbnail and people will be like, what the heck is he doing trying to run over these life rafts? Okay, let's see what happens there. Oh, I made like a collision noise. Man, I hope that doesn't count as like a kill or something. That's pretty barbaric if so. Yeah, I think we're picking up more. That's cool. Oh, you know those noises are probably from the tanker that's below us. Yeah, we're like right under the thing. Let's see. Yeah, jeez. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely the noise from the wreck. Okay. Mess around with this camera. So this is difficult because when you go slower on a ship, you lose rudder authority, because if you ever look at ship designs and stuff, they will always put the rudder directly behind the prop. If they don't, then something was wrong with them when they designed it, because there are actually ships that have little side fins, but they're more like stabilizers. But for rudder, it's important that, you know, as you get more speed, you get more authority, because you're just blasting water along that don't want to say airfoil, but hydrofoil sort of shape, and it gives you control. All right, you know what we'll do? We'll come to all stop. We're just gonna simulate this because I don't want to have to go back and forth in big circles trying to run into all these guys. We'll go to all stop, deploy our little boats. We'll put them out of the fight for, let's say, 45 minutes. So 7:15 we'll come back to them. We'll leave them out. I clicked on the 3D world like it was going to do anything. Stupid. Alright, we'll leave those two out. 7:15 local time. We'll have Duncan, Hepburn fall back in line. Okay. These other guys do not respond. Oh, this one. These guys need to get their radars on. Okay. Alright, so let's just go ahead and time compress. Right now the SH2 is dropping off sonobuoys along our line of travel. Hopefully we can detect any submarines. And Duncan is going to just take charge, leading those 2 MSC ships, while Hepburn here is busy picking up everybody. It was actually a pretty good day, weather-wise, it looks like. Alright, once this guy's done, gonna have them come back kind of this way and take a look at these small contacts here. Let's see. Oh, noise! Oh boy. It's 2 of them. Okay. Well. Alright, so we've got some contact there and some contact here. We're gonna have to break off the SAR efforts from this guy, and we'll leave it up to Hepburn, because we're gonna have to prosecute a couple submarines all at once. We'll want to put a buoy out in front of him. Who's detecting this guy? Wow, that is being detected on by a sonobuoy, which is 8.75 nautical miles away. So we're going to make a mental note here. This guy came into contact like 3.5 nautical miles away. He's going 13 knots, but this one's going 13 knots and detected either at 11, well, 8.75 I think is the closest buoy, assuming that's the one that's got the traffic. Alright, they're hostile, so we're just gonna clear them to go kill these things. I don't care what it is. We just know enough about it to know it's hostile. In fact, we can take a look at the information. Nope, nothing. What about this guy here? Nothing. Alright. So, another thing we want to check for is 10.3, I think it was, nautical miles. Let's double check that. Well, let's slow everybody down to 1/3. Unit reference, submarines, attack subs. Oh, not attack subs, they call them patrol subs in the game. Assuming it's a Romeo or a Foxtrot. So these are 5365s. Yep, 10.3 nautical miles. That's what we want. So I'm just drawing that bubble out because that means... Oh, we lost contact. I guess we'll have to drop a buoy in front of it. I'm drawing that because we do not want to put ships in this bubble. That means the submarine's going to be able to fire at us with that weapon system if it detects us. Not necessarily true that it'll fire at us the moment we get in there, but if it does detect us, it will be able to shoot at us, right? So we'll... Look at that gorgeous coastline now. It looks awesome. So yeah, we'll drop... It's interesting. Oh, yeah. So you want to look at what the contacts are doing to kind of show you an idea of when you're going to detect them on the sonobuoy, at what range, and what are they doing. So we saw these guys were going like 13 knots, and they were loud enough to be detected by some of the sonobuoys at over 8.5 nautical miles. But they've slowed down to 3 knots, and they've dropped off. So if we reacquire them, we'll then understand at 3 knots we can expect this range versus 13 knots we can expect 8.5 nautical mile range. Just to keep that in mind, so if you need to plan out some more buoy drops, you can understand how far away you can actually be from them to get detection. And also another thing to point out, that doesn't necessarily mean that our towed array sensors are going to get them at 8.5 nautical miles, right? Because those sensors are much stronger than the sonobuoys. And that's why I'm always an advocate for using your shipboard sensors to find things at range first, instead of just, if you don't have any idea where the guy's at, instead of just blanketing the map with sonobuoys, just wait until your towed array gets some detection. Alright. Now we're just going to do a quick pass of these unknowns. They're not really... Let's see if any of them will respond to us. I'm more checking to see if anybody's going some suspect speed of like 30 knots or something, then we know it's probably hostile coming towards us. Alright, Hepburn still picking up people. We've got another 30 minutes, a little under 30 minutes. Okay, they're going to drop Sonobu kind of in front of them. I should probably pull it in a little bit. Yeah, that's good. That guy's heading right towards the buoy drop, so that's good. Alright, let's speed this up a little bit. See how this goes. I gotta say, I love all the merchant ships in this scenario. There, look at that, perfect. So 1.5 miles instantly detected, so it's likely well within the detection range. Once again, that's hostile, so we can just set up for a kill. I'll wait for them to come around. That was detected at... what is this, like 8.5 again? He speed up? No, yeah, he's going 13 knots. So 13 knots, we're getting some good detection ranges. Okay, I think we're in range to shoot at this guy. Oh, sorry for the volume, I just want to get a cool screenshot. Wait for the drop. It's amazing how much room those torpedoes take up on the... Alright. Let's see how this shot does. Watching for this guy to drop. Did he slow down? Yeah, he slowed down. You can see how that affects his detection. Alright, that is loud. Where is he? Come on. There he is, there he is, yes, look at that. Oh, that thing is just sitting there too, look at that. Just waiting for us, just waiting to ambush us. But we ain't about that. No, sir. Goodbye. Whoa. Ah. Camera controls. Alright, that is one dead Romeo. It's probably just going to sit there for a little bit until it gets overcome with flooding. Same thing for this guy. Give it a few minutes to circle back. Alright, let's watch. Oops, did not want to do that. Okay, there it goes. And is this guy reacting? He's not reacting. That's perfect. It's going to be the same sort of thing here, I think. Yep. It's just almost a mirror of what happened on the other side of that projected track that we were going down. Stern shot. I mean, this is such a small submarine. It's catastrophic to get hit by a torpedo like that. Alright. So this guy's just going to sit there and wait. So that Romeo is officially dead. Okay. Alright, let's go VID some of these things. Alright, Duncan can speed up again. Oh, don't speed up. There we go, that's what we want. Yeah, so this guy's not responding. It's probably a merchant, but now that I've seen those armed merchants, I am not going to take for granted that a large vessel is likely a merchant and we can just ignore it. That was pretty cool to see that in the game. Okay, that Romeo is dead, so we're going to send this guy to go check out this. Unless they identify themselves. Alright, a few more minutes. And then we'll see what these guys turn out to be. Okay, that one's a merchant. Cool. That's another merchant. Alright. Oh, what was that? Alright, go VID that while you can. Just identify as much as we can. Alright, let's go ahead and recall this guy. RTB. Oh, yeah. It's 7:21. It's time. Gave it 45 minutes. I think that's good enough to pick people up. Now we can tell them to go formation, return to formation. Go do your thing, Hepburn. Well, let's stay away from the coast. Coasts are dangerous. Alright, go ahead and come back towards base. Oh, there we go. I just assumed that when I told to return to formation it would let go of the direct control, but you gotta turn it off yourself, I think. Alright, you can return to base. That should be good on submarines, I think. Oh, you know what? Should probably just have one out there as a relay for these sonobuoys. They're gonna shut down anyways pretty soon. So let's spit some new ones out. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to drop all those other ones. That's alright. So they're shutting down in an hour, that's good. I think that we've got this in the bag. Okay, helicopters are all on board. Man, these scenarios and my P3 control, it's not good. I think if it was the radon once and I lost a P3, lost another one here. Those guys probably don't want to go up to bat for me when I ask them for some support in these missions, given how poorly I control them. Alright, Hepburn's back in formation. Everything's good. Let's speed this up 100 times, I think. Alright, we've got buoys still connected. That was pretty good. These ships do have a ability to, at least with the OHP, they've got the ARR-75 antenna, which is somewhere up here, and it has line of sight connectivity to buoys, so you don't need a helicopter to look at them. Oh, you know what? I could have cleaned this up. Sorry. So let's move this into here. And then let's tell the formation. Edit the formation. Relative position. So everybody kind of fall in line, please. That's good enough. Oh no, what are they doing? Okay. You know what, actually, we're so close now it doesn't matter. I just need to get them in the area. Alright. There we go. Convoy has reached Busan successfully. Enemy surface and submarine contacts engaged en route. Fired upon by unconventional units. Request further tasking instructions. Well, there you have it. That was Sea Lift Busan, made by Minf. I'll link that in the description. I think it's really cool. That was the first time I experienced a mission where we had merchants firing things at us. It was really unexpected. And in fact, you could see how it was confusing to me because I didn't return fire because I thought it was missile boats that were near a big merchant vessel, a large radar contact. And I had just assumed that it was a large merchant that was neutral, that it was a merchant vessel, but it was able to fire missiles at us. So that is really cool. It's cool to see that in a mission. I like that when you come across something like that randomly, I hope you're playing this mission before, or you've played this mission before you watch this video, because that's a cool thing. I don't want to spoil that sort of magic as it happens. Anyways, if it did, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to play out like that. But yeah, I'll link this in the description, and definitely give this guy, give this mission a try. This guy did a great job with it. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. See you on the next one. Bye.